Alright guys, today we have another IBO HG kit review. And this time it's one of my favorites from the series, the Gundam Gusion, or Gusion, if you want to be French about it. But I love this guy, and I love this box art. So let's go ahead and take a look at this, because I can't wait to get to this kit. And you get the wonderful image right here of Gusion in action, swinging his big old hammer with some great effects coming out of it there. Over here you get the, well, he's kind of a jerk. The original pilot of Gusion from the series, Kudal, Kadel? Kadel? I don't know. He's got a weird name. He's a big jerk. He enslaved a bunch of kids, treated them like garbage, literally. So, what we have here, that's a bit sticky for some reason. It's official Bandai product, because that is what we buy around here. You got the great IBO emblems here. Of course, HG Iron Blooded Orphans. Scale model Gundam Gusion right there. We're just going to forget about him. He doesn't exist. Come down here to the bottom. Got some great product shots. Gusion in action, holding his hammer. Looking all nice. Look at that guy. Over here, he's got his hand out like, stop! Poor Henry. Showing a little bit of shoulder articulation. That's a weird image. What is that? Okay, so that's the backside. I guess it's just showing you how the shoulder works, sort of, and I guess it's showing off the sticker for the Brewers. I don't know why they bothered showing that off. Come over here, you see it wielding his little machine gun. We'll talk about that later. And then, of course, you got the image of how it can store the weapons on the back. It's kind of doing all the reviewing for me. That's kind of silly. Get over here. It actually shows you, it says display. So there it is with the man Rhodey, the little other mobile suits that the Brewers use. It's a great little image there. It says HG, IBO, other stuff there. I guess I'm going to talk about the Gusion and the man Rhodey. Come around here, of course, you get the same images on top. This is the 008. We're not going in order here, but that's okay. So that's the 8th mobile suit in the series, BandaiHobby.net. Come back over here. And got another couple good images, front and rear, of the guy holding his hammer, his gun. Get a little bit of the story here. I'm assuming this is talking about the 72 Demon Gundams, because there's 72 there. I don't know what 26 is, but it is. It says it there. And I'm guessing this is a read-up on the pilot. This guy's a big jerk. Don't even worry about him anymore. Got some more story. It's updated, an updated image there, so I'm guessing that this is showing it later in the series. You got the gteketsu.com. Now, I did finally talk to a friend of mine. So basically, this is describing the different plastics that are in the kit. So it's got some polystyrene and whatever PS is. So I'm guessing that's what these are, different plastics and how you recycle them, I'm assuming. Of course, the obligatory, don't stick anything in this box in your face, it'll hurt you. No idea what these emblems are. This one's actually a little more expensive than the other ones. It's only 1,200 yen, so 12 bucks, give or take. The illustration by Magaki Ryuta, special effects by Koma, background images by Saito Yoshinobu. But unfortunately, it's upside down. Looks fantastic, but it's upside down. So I'm guessing it's talking about the difference. So this drawing by one person, this drawing is by one person, and the cool effect of the asteroid back here is by someone else. Well, that's enough about the box. We want to see the kit. I love this kit, so let's get to it. Alright guys, here we have the Gusion out of its box and already built, of course, because I built this a while back, and it is magnificent. Look at this big green guy. It's so awesome. I love this kit. I like this guy ever since I first saw it in the series, and to actually build it, it's just it's the big green frog turtle. That's what everybody calls it. It's just glorious and bulky, and it has a giant hammer. Gotta love the giant hammer. Up, and right there, we see a problem. We'll get to that in a little bit, because you guys know by now I hate when they use a poly cap in the crotch peg. So pull him off the stand and get a closer look at this guy. And you can see I did a lot of weathering and some battle damage to this guy, because it was already in a lot of space battles and old by the time they find it in the series, so it needed to be dirty and beat up. So we got some good scratches, showing some paint off there, a bit of rust, and just dirt and grime all over this guy. Down here on the crotch part, on the leg, down here around the thruster. So nice. We'll just give this guy a little once over. We'll walk around here onto the back side. Oh, look at this guy. I don't know why I really like this big scrape right here for some reason. I'm looking up here. Oh, I love this kit. It is just so much fun. It's so different from the other Gundams and the other mobile suits. Well, I guess for the Manrodi. Manrodi had to have been designed very similar to this. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pop this hand off so I don't have to keep working around the hammer. We'll talk about that in a minute when we get to weapons. But let's talk about articulation, because this guy has some, not a lot. It's a very, very bulky Gundam. So you come in here to the head. It can rotate about that far, and it can move up and down about that much. He's very, very limited by the way this shroud is around here. But I love this head. It's just so weird looking. And weird. That's where it gets the idea of the frog turtle. It looks very much like some kind of lizard or turtle, especially with these little bitty fins right here, which is very squat. And then you get to the shoulders. It's very, I don't know, it's very different than the other IBO kits, because you get the armor, the shoulder armor, it can move about that much, but you can see it cut up but restricted by the actual shoulder there, so it cannot actually go any higher than that. But if we look under here, you can see the arm can move itself about that far. Can't go any higher than about 90 degrees. Of course, you get the bicep rotation, as you always get. Same single jointed elbow, but they add this cool little rod, probably like a piston there. It's very different from a standard Gundam setup. And of course, you would get the regular HG hand, ball joint there. Of course, I pulled that hand off. So let's look at some of this detail up close. Let's see if it focuses. Sorry, I just love that. And of course, it's the same on both sides. You get some rotation in the middle, but its back skirt and side skirts get in the way. Has a tiny bit of crunch, so that ain't going very far. Now the cool little side skirts, they both have like a hinge, and of course they swivel just a little bit with the way they peg into the polycap there. The legs are very limited in how they can move because of the way this guy's built. Of course, I did not actually cut this because, well, it gets out of the way, and honestly the leg movement is very minimal. You can't even come up very far. That's as far as you can really go. Maybe 30 degrees or so. You can go back about that far. That's about as far as the knee will go. It is a double jointed knee. It's just very, very limited by the giant skirts on the legs. It does have doesn't have standard thigh swivel. It is a thigh swivel. It's just a cutout up here instead of actually being part of the leg. And then the foot, well, it's got a little bit of a swivel down here. That's about all the foot can do. Doesn't even have any side-to-side movement. But the way the legs are just really spread and wide, you get in here, you can see just how big that the hip joint, the crotch, just is. But I love this guy nonetheless. It is just so cool and green and bulky. And of course, I love the way I decoed this guy. And unlike some of the other ones, it's pretty free of stickers, like in reality, because it kind of only has the eye stickers right there, the foil stickers, these little white triangles here on the shoulder. I don't know if those are like a level designation, I don't know exactly. And then it's got the fork here for the brewers. I thought for some reason I was thinking this was actually a sticker, but it's not. But yeah, that's it for the stickers. Everything else is painted detail I've added on. Of course, all the weathering, the brown panel lining instead of black, because to make it look dirty. Come back here, you got these big main thrusters painted inside there, shaded in. Looks like they've been used for a while. You got some smaller miniature thrusters here. You got the back vents. I actually painted those silver just to make them stand out because they were purple, like this guy is. It's got a weird purpley inner frame. We'll talk about the little machine gun. Actually, it's weapon storage. Weapon storage is important, people. Set that out of the way. that nice and flips up. I love just this scrape here and the big damages here. Got the big leg thrusters because this guy's made for space use, so it has big old leg thrusters here, 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 all around. So for being its size and bulkiness, it was very maneuverable in the show. And I do believe these themselves are actually thrusters. It's not really covered that well in this series, but I love this guy. He can stand on his own. He actually stands better than he sits on the base. And, oh, look at that guy. He's just so pretty. I'm going to talk about the accessories now. You get the little machine gun, which all I did was just give it a little dark paint just because it was that weird purpley color that's his inner frame. And this is literally just 2 pieces. It's one of the dumber weapon accessories that comes with it. I either have it pegged in on his backside like I saw there, but it does just sit in the hand like this. And this guy does come with the standard IBO hands, but he's limited by how big his wrist armor is. So he can hold his gun, it's just very kind of limited in how it can hold it. So I think he's meant to hold it left-handed because he has this in his right hand. And I hit him in the face with his own hammer. Now this guy is so cool. Now you can see that it is very well rusted and has a little bit of battle damage. And I will give away a small secret here. This is not paint. Some of it is. The silver chips are paint. Some of the black is actually weathering paint. That rust is real rust. I actually have a little bit of a technique that I use for rusting things for real. And I like the way it looks. It gives a good sense of age to it. And get it down to here. Got a little bit of silver paint there. Makes it look worn. The handle, I didn't bother putting anything on. This part down here is actually how you get it in and out of the hands. The pommel just pops right off. But since he's already got it in his hand, we can go ahead and hold it, and you'll see why it's kind of a pain in the butt, to be perfectly honest. I wish they had given it kind of like the Barbatos's mace has a square section that fits the hand really well and will really hold it. This thing is perfectly round, so the hammer just sort of spins and will slide. You kind of have to hold it any higher. You sort of have to friction it against the armor, which these little cutouts, these grooves here, sort of help with. But once he's holding the hammer, he tends to want to shift his weight around a little bit. He will want to fall here. Now, there's a couple extra accessories that I put on mine because, well, I've got the option kits. And in one of those, you get this really neat axe. And once again, I added the lovely rusty color because what's more scary than a big rusty axe coming at you, you know? And actually, this was all the same kind of brownish gray that all the IBO option weapons come with. I had this purple that's very, very similar to the inner frame color, so may as well make it match. And in reality, this little mace on the top does come with a chain that you can attach and swing around, but it's kind of dumb, if I'm honest. So I just leave it attached all the time. Just a little bit of silver paint around the edges here and all the knot spikes on that mace. But this is pretty cool. I usually have them displayed with this. I'll set it off to the side just for a second here. And then also this guy. Little, like, cleaver? Yeah, I guess cleaver is a good word for it. This is also part of the same options kit. If I remember correctly, the Man Rhodey has a very, very similar weapon, if it's not the exact same weapon. But I don't have the Man Rhodey kit, so I don't know. Now, in fact, it does have what I'm guessing are thrusters here. So that it has a little bit of boost to help slice it through things. Okay, camera, keep focusing. But I usually have this displayed also on this guy. And we could talk about weapon storage, because he does have a little bit of that. So let me pull the hammer out of his hand, which actually is easier to do by removing the hand. And as usual, it's just the back plate of the hand pops off. If it will do it, it's fighting me, because Gusion is a fighter. I'll go ahead and I'll put the axe in his hands because it looks really neat. Now I like the fact that this axe is so long you can hold it with both hands pretty well. So I'm going to put the axe in his right hand. Stick that up there. Gets good tilt on it. Zoom out just a little bit. The cool thing is, the hammer he actually comes with a cool clip to attach the hammer to his upper back. And now he's a frog turtle with a giant hammer on his back. And that's awesome. And as we saw earlier in the roundabout part, this gun does store in that little handy dandy clip on his butt. I'll put that on there in a minute. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and give him his cleaver. So now he is really armed to the teeth. He is a very violent frog turtle. Look at this guy. Now he's probably going to want to fall over now. Got to plant the feet really well, because like I said, those feet don't really rock. So you got to make sure that he's standing just right, or he will fall over. And that is beautiful, guys. So, like I've been doing with all the other IBO kits that I've got, building the display to go in my setup over here. So, we're going to take a second and mount him up for that. Alright guys, we've got the IBO collection stand going here, and you can see, of course, we've got the Greys Kai, Barbatos, and Schwalbe Greys there, so we will get the big green frog turtle on here with his friends, and he goes way back here, if I can see that correctly. Like I said before, I'm totally going off an image I took of the way the stand used to be. I believe that is the correct position for him, but it looks like he actually might be leaned forward a little bit more than that. Put it there. And of course, this will take some tweaking over time to really get right, because there's so many kits that have to go in this that it's going to be crowded. So, let's see that display there. And this is going to be a thing of beauty when it's done, guys. Of course, I still have his, I have his machine gun here. I need to go ahead and stick that on his back. Now, this is, of course, the problem I had with the Gusion. The crotch peg is, in fact, a polycap. So he does want to lean really badly when he's on that peg for too long. But this is going to be it for this review, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked my work. Watch the rest of my IBO reviews as they come along. Over time, we're going to get this thing built and set up. Make sure you like and subscribe. Check out my Gunpla build videos and my Shoky quickie reviews. I will catch you guys next time. And remember, just keep on building.